Good afternoon. My name is Braden Gibson, and this is my commemorative speech. How do you define success? Some may say wealth or prosperity define success. Maybe it's popularity or celebrity status. But I define success differently. I define success in three aspects: triumph in the face of adversity, faithfulness, and courage. I believe that if you possess all three of these characteristics, you will be successful. When I think of a person who's successful, I immediately think of my grandmother. Not only does my grandmother possess these characteristics, but she embodies these with a diligence unmatched by anyone I know. My grandmother, who I affectionately call Dee Dee, was born into poverty, deep in the Mississippi Delta, on a small cotton and soybean farm in Yazoo City, Mississippi. She had 4 sisters and 10 brothers, and to say that she was poor would be an understatement. Her family had very little income, and the farm was all they had. Dee Dee's father was an alcoholic and was both verbally and physically abusive. She loved her family, but by the time she was 17, she had married a young ministry student and moved far from home. Being a pastor's wife at 17 was difficult, to say the least, but my grandmother made the decision that she would serve her husband and the church to the best of her ability. At age 20, she became pregnant, but unfortunately lost the child due to miscarriage. She did not let this discourage her, however, and she gave birth to 3 beautiful children after that. Life wasn't perfect, as after the birth of her second child, she started struggling with an anxiety disorder known as agoraphobia. It plagued her life for many years, but she didn't let it stop her. After the birth of my mother, her 3rd child, she was plagued by 3 more miscarriages. But throughout these adversities, she never lost faith, and she courageously moved forward with her life. When I was about 5, my grandfather suffered a major stroke. A year later, my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. Some people may have given up hope, called life unfair, and thrown in the towel, but not my grandmother. She picked herself up and cared for herself and her husband. She took on all the responsibilities of the household, and she embodied everything that it means to be successful. Triumph in the face of adversity, faithfulness, and courage. This is how I define success. From a poverty-stricken small town in Mississippi to breast cancer later in life, my grandmother never lost faith. Throughout it all, she triumphed when life obstacles seemed unsurmountable. She remained faithful when the darkness of night seemed to last forever. She lived her life with courage when all hope seemed lost. She is my definition of success. She is my inspiration. Looking back 12 years cancer-free with 3 beautiful children and 5 gorgeous grandchildren, my grandmother smiles and says, "God is good, and He continues to bless me and my family as always." Wealth and prosperity, celebrity status, and popularity is not the definition of success. My grandmother, Dee Dee, is the definition of success, and I would not be today without her.